was £70 per person. So when it is that price point, I do have very high standards. It's very relaxing in here. They've got a pianist playing, which really adds to the atmosphere. They said they change this seasonally. I think it's great that they always have a theme and they change it regularly. The afternoon tea stand has arrived with me and this looks incredible. Okay, it is time to get into these incredible patisseries. I'm just going to hold them up on the plate here to show you. Hello beautiful people and welcome back for another afternoon tea review. We are by Park Lane today, which is an absolute hub spot for 5-star hotels in London, and we are going to an afternoon tea that one of you actually requested that I review. So we're heading to Grosvenor House to their park room, I believe it's called, for their afternoon tea, which is actually ballet themed at the moment. I'm really excited to try it. I have very, very high hopes because from what I've seen, it is a beautiful classic afternoon tea. I booked for just one person as always and it was £70 per person. So when it is that price point, I do have very high standards. I'm expecting matching crockery. I'm expecting a wide range of teas to choose from. I'm expecting beautiful, exquisite, sweet and savoury items for us to try today. So without further ado, let's head over there and I will take you guys along with me. I am absolutely loving our afternoon tea dates at the moment. They've been so much fun. They've been very hit and miss. I'm not going to lie. Some of them have been amazing, some of them not so much. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this series as much as I have. And obviously I'm going to continue doing it through the summer and into the autumn winter. Let me know if there's any afternoon teas that you specifically want me to review and I will definitely add them to my list. Let's make our way over to Park Lane and to Grosvenor House. I actually got the bus here today and it is so hot in London at the moment. It's 27 degrees Celsius, which for you Americans, I have no idea what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's bloody hot, okay? Whenever it gets this hot in London, I always feel like it feels so much warmer than anywhere else. I've been to places like Dubai, India, the US, I've been to like Nashville, Orlando in the US, and I feel like the heat in those places is always a lot easier to cope with because they're built for heat, whereas London just really is not built for any sort of heat. So whenever it goes above, I'm gonna say 23, 24 degrees, it just becomes an absolute sweatbox. And I got the bus here today and I was sat on that top deck sweating, but I am enjoying the sunshine. London is always so much prettier in the sunshine, and we are nearly at Grosvenor House. I will show you exactly what it looks like on the outside. Okay, this is Grosvenor House that we're walking past now, and they have quite a lot of function rooms. I think they've got private suites as well. So I think the entrance to the hotel is right at the top there, so we'll head on over there and then we will find the park room that this afternoon tea is hosted in. Here we go, we're nearly at the entrance now and this is such a beautiful property. I actually think this is the room that the afternoon tea takes place in. Let's have a little look through the window. I don't know if you can see much, but it looks like it happens in there, which is going to be really, really nice. I'm excited for this one. I hope it's going to be a good one. I've arrived for my afternoon tea and I was sat down immediately as soon as I arrived. So Grosvenor House, I should give you a bit of context, is a JW Marriott property on Park Lane. It's right across from Hyde Park, so you've got the beautiful green landscape in front of you. I'm sat at a window table, so I've got a lovely view of the outside. It's very relaxing in here. They've got pianists playing, which really adds to the atmosphere and makes it feel a bit more special. And as I mentioned, the afternoon tea here is ballet themed, which I think is so cute. They said they change this seasonally. I think it's great that they always have a theme and they change it regularly. It means that you could come here a few different times and have different experiences and try different things, which is great. What I love is they have this beautiful illustrated menu, and it has in it illustrations of all of the sweet treats that you get with this afternoon tea, and they all look incredible. It also gives you a bit of context to the theme for the afternoon tea, which is pas de deux, which is ballet themed. I can't remember what that actually translates to, but let me see if I can find out. I think it's two-step or something like that. So it talks a lot about the concept of the afternoon tea and then how they've translated that into the pastries and the sweet items, which is really, really lovely. I'm definitely going to have a full read of that while I wait for my tea to arrive. And then in this book, they have the afternoon tea menu listed out, It's £70 per person, as I mentioned. They also do a children's afternoon tea, which is £38 per child. And I think they do veggie options and vegan options. I think they do. They have a massive range of teas for you to choose from. There's a rare and exclusive teas menu. There's a signature teas menu. There's green teas. There's fruit and kind of floral, or like, what's the other word for that? There's fruit and floral teas in there as well. And then there's also an oolong collection and teas for children. So you are not going to be short of options when it comes to your teas at this afternoon tea, which I love. I think I'm actually going to end up going for a peach and raspberry tea or elderflower and lemon. It's a very hot day today, so I feel like I need something light and fruity. They also have a lavender dream green tea, which sounds incredible, and I'm tempted to try that as well. I might try 2 teas if I can during this experience, just to let you guys know what I think of each of them. As soon as I sat down, they also brought me over a glass of ice water with some lime in it, which is again such a lovely thing to do. It's such a hot day today. It's nice that they've recognized that. They came over and said, it's a really hot day, you must be, you know, really warm after being outside. Here's some ice water to help you cool down. And it's touches like that, again, that just make you feel a lot more looked after at these more expensive afternoon teas, and it kind of just makes them worth that much higher price point than the more affordable ones. So I am going to put my tea order in now, and then as everything arrives, I will review it for you guys and I will let you know my thoughts. But so far, so good. Okay, so I've ordered my tea. I went for the peach and raspberry one to start with. They had a few recommendations for me. One of them was the white cherry tea, and then there's a red berries one they recommended as well. And honestly, I'm gonna try as many teas as they will let me at this, because all of them look amazing and they're so enthusiastic about their tea menu. They can give you really great recommendations based on what your tastes are, which I love. I love when there's that enthusiasm from the staff, and I just feel like it just adds to the experience, and it means you can ask more questions and you know that they're gonna guide you along in the experience and make sure you just have the best time. I also didn't realize you get to choose your jam to go with the scones. So they had strawberry jam, there was a rhubarb and ginger, there was a gooseberry, I think there was a raspberry and a blackberry. I went for the rhubarb and ginger jam, and my waitress actually recommended also adding on the blackberry jam as well, so I did that. Again, I love that they're enthusiastic enough to say to you, if you don't mind, can I actually get you to try this as well? I feel like it just gives you that confidence in your experience to know that you're going to get the absolute most out of it. They also let me know that these cute little illustrated menus are yours to take away from the experience, which I think is so lovely. So I'm definitely going to take this home with me as a souvenir from the experience. And again, I love stuff like that, where you get a little memento from your special experience to take home with you and to remember it by. I honestly can't wait for this tea to arrive and to tell you guys what I think, because I think it's going to be amazing. And I have a feeling this might end up being my best rated afternoon tea. Let's see, but so far I'm really impressed. Okay, I've had a bit of time to read this little insert that comes in the menu that tells you a bit more about the inspiration behind the afternoon tea, and I thought I'd just read it to you guys because it's really interesting. So it says, taking inspiration from the Great Room's long-standing legacy with classical dance and the iconic two-step dance duet in ballet. By the way, the Great Room is the big kind of event hall that they have here in this hotel. Grosvenor House presents the pas de deux afternoon tea. Please excuse my French pronunciation because I feel like it's terrible. From point to pastry, enjoy delicate 5 pastries and an Amouse Bouche masterfully created by head pastry chef Anthony Hurst. Designed to capture the grace and precision of classical ballet, each pastry flavor promises to pirouette on the plate. So that is very exciting, and I can't wait to see how all of these come to life in the afternoon tea. Like I said, I just love details like this that just add just a hint of specialness to the experience. So the pas de deux Amouse Bouche has arrived with me. It looks so nice. It's in an ice cold glass, which I'm very excited to get stuck into because I feel like this is going to be very refreshing and perfect for the warm weather that we've got at the moment in London. So I will try it a little bit and I'll let you guys know what I think. It's got kind of a pear taste to it. It's really, really nice. It's like eating shaved ice. It's a really nice idea, especially in the summer months, to have something like this to start an afternoon tea with, because it's a really great palate cleanser and also just perfect for cooling down after being outside in the hot weather. I feel like if I eat this too quickly, I'm going to get brain freeze because it is ice cold. But it is so soothing on a hot day like this. My tea has arrived and it's been poured for me, which was a really nice touch. Again, when you're at the £70 price point, it's things like that that just make the experience more elevated. They come over, they pour it for you. It's a really nice experience. You can just relax and enjoy it. And it is a beautiful, vibrant orange colour. I'm excited to try it. It also smells amazing. One of the things that you guys will know that I love is the matching sets, and this has a matching crockery set. So the teapot matches the teacup, and that matches also the little plate as well, and also the set that your sugars are in. Everything matches, which I love. It just makes it feel so much more special. But let's try this tea and I'll let you guys know what I think. It's a really tasty fruity tea, but it's nothing too sweet or overpowering. It's just a really nice delicate flavour, which I really like. I'm going to really enjoy drinking this while I have my afternoon tea, and I'm also, as I mentioned, going to try some other flavours during it as well if I can. So the first savoury items have arrived, and they actually come round on a tray and then they put them onto the plate for you, and you can decide whether you have just one of them or both of them. I obviously went for both, so I got one of each. I'll just hold them close to the camera so you guys can see, and it's like an open smoked salmon sandwich and an open egg sandwich on a brioche. I'm really excited to try these and to see what I think because they look beautiful. Let's start with the egg mayonnaise one first. It's got like a little mini, I'm going to assume it's like a quail's egg or something like that on it, which just looks so sweet and so cute. I'm very excited to try this and to see what I think. So let's give it a taste and see what we think. That's a really delicious, delicate flavour. I will say it's nice to have a break from the truffle egg sandwiches that a lot of other places have been doing, and I like that they've just kept it quite classic here. Okay, next let's try the salmon and prawn open sandwich. This just looks beautiful. I almost don't want to eat it because I feel like it's going to ruin the way that it looks, but of course we have to try it. So I'm going to use my knife and fork, I think, for this one, otherwise it's going to be a bit too messy, and this is such a nice place. I don't want to behave badly here. So I'm just going to cut into a bit with the prawn and the smoked salmon on it. Okay, I've got some on my fork, so let's try it and see what we think. That is really delicious. I think of the two, I prefer the salmon and prawn one just because there's a bit more of a complexity to the flavours, but they're both really nice, and I like this way of starting an afternoon tea where you're kind of just going through stages of trying different stuff rather than having a whole stand put in front of you to just slowly work your way through. This is a much more enjoyable experience. It's got a nice pace to it. You feel like you can relax and just enjoy the experience. The afternoon tea stand has arrived with me, and this looks incredible. So at the bottom we've got our sandwiches. You actually get 5 sandwiches. On the left there is a ham one, next to it is a beef, and then there is, I think, a chicken one, a cucumber sandwich, and then a salmon sandwich. On the middle of the stand, you've got your 2 scones. So you've got a fruit and a plain scone. And to go with those down here, you've got the clotted cream, the blackcurrant jam, and the rhubarb and ginger jams. As I mentioned, you can choose your jams here. So you can kind of customize this experience, which I really like. And then at the top, we have the most incredible ballet-themed sweet treats. These look phenomenal. They are honestly like pieces of art themselves. So I'm really sad to be cutting into them and eating them, but I'm sure they will taste delicious. Okay, as always, let's start with the savoury items, which are these sandwiches. As I mentioned when talking through it, you get 5 sandwiches, which is honestly amazing. I definitely don't think I'm going to be able to finish these on my own, but I'm going to give it a good go. So let's start with the first sandwich. This is the ham sandwich. It's got mustard in it as well, and it's on a white bread. So let's see what we think of this one. That's a really nice ham sandwich. The mustard isn't too overpowering as well, which I really appreciate because I can't stand a super strong mustard taste. Next, let's move on to the beef sandwich, which is also on a white bread. Let's try this and see what we think. I really like that one as well. It has horseradish in it, I think, which can be quite a strong flavour, but they've balanced it really well. Again, it's not too overpowering, and it doesn't kind of take over the sandwich and make it unbearable to eat. I really like them so far. Okay, third, let's try the roast chicken sandwich. They said that this is actually their most popular one at the afternoon tea. And again, this is on a white bread. I can see why that is the favorite. It is so delicious. I really, really like it. That's definitely my favorite of the three that I've tried so far. Fourth, let's move on to the cucumber sandwich. As you guys know, I'm not always the biggest fan of a cucumber sandwich, but I will try it and I'll let you guys know what I think. There's a hint of mint to it, which I really like. I think it pairs really well with the cucumber flavor. The cucumber itself is also really crunchy and fresh. Really like that. It's not my favorite sort of flavor to go for cucumber sandwiches, but I actually would probably eat all of that. And then finally, we have the salmon sandwich, which is also on a brown bread. So let's try this one and see what we think. I like that one as well. I actually really like the sandwiches they have at this afternoon tea. And I feel like you get so many savory items because we had the two open sandwiches as well at the beginning. You're definitely not gonna feel like you're missing out on any sort of savory items with this. They are very, very generous, and so far I am really impressed. I am going to finish off the sandwiches now, or as much of them as I can, and then I will move on to review the scones for you guys as well. They actually serve these hot, so I'm hoping they're going to still be warm by the time I get round to eating them. Okay, it's time to review the scones. I finished all the savoury items. I really, really liked them. I think they're really well thought out here, and if you are more of a fan of a traditional afternoon tea where they do finger sandwiches, I think you will absolutely love what they do here. So without further ado, let's get into these scones. They are still slightly warm, which is really, really nice. I'm going to cut into the fruit one and start with that one first. And I'm going to go for the rhubarb and ginger jam on this one with the clotted cream, just to try it and see what I think. I love that they do such different jams at this afternoon tea, and they give you quite a few to choose from as well. So you can really make this experience exactly what you want it to be. Okay, I've got the rhubarb and ginger jam in here, and then we've got the clotted cream in here, and I love that that is just such a perfect dome. It's just so satisfying to look at. Also worth mentioning that these little pots match everything else in the afternoon tea. So the plates, the crockery, it all matches, which I really, really love. Without further ado, let's actually put this scone together and taste it and see what we think. I'm going to start with the cream first, of course. As you guys know, I always put the cream on first. This clotted cream is really nice and smooth, so it's super easy to spread. And then I'm going to put the jam on top of that. This looks like a really lovely jam, and I'm excited to see what it's going to taste like. I love rhubarb as a flavour, so I just feel like I'm going to really, really love this. Okay, now that the scone is all loaded up, how good does that look? Let's try it and see what we think. I really like the rhubarb and ginger jam. I think it's delicious, and I love that you can have something that's completely different and unique here. I'm going to finish this half of scone, and then we'll move on to trying the plain scone with a blackberry jam and the cream. There was a child literally just crying their eyes out. Bless them. They seem to have stopped now. I hope they're okay. But I can imagine it's probably really stressful if you bring your kids somewhere like here and they start crying, because it's such a nice, relaxing environment for everyone. I feel like it's a lot of pressure if your kids start kicking off. Okay, let's try the plain scone now. I realised I just cut into it without even showing it to you guys. I just got too excited to try it. But I'm going to try this with the blackberry. I think it's blackberry or blackcurrant. I can't exactly remember, but the blackberry / blackcurrant jam and the cream. Let's see what this is going to taste like. Such a relaxing environment in here. They've got the piano playing, lots of classic songs, which I really like. I feel like it really adds to the atmosphere. Like I mentioned, there was a little kid crying, but it really didn't last that long. And to be honest, it doesn't have an impact on my experience. It's one of those things that's kind of unavoidable if you've got kids. And I feel like they should be able to come and enjoy an afternoon tea. Why not? Okay, I'm loading up the jam on this, and it looks absolutely delicious. I cannot wait to try this. Look how good that looks. I just feel like this is going to be delicious, so let's get into it. They were right, that is the perfect jam to have with this. It's got like a tangy taste to it that just goes perfectly with the clotted cream. I absolutely love that. Highly recommend that you get this blackcurrant jam if you are coming to this afternoon tea. Okay, I'm going to finish off the scones, and then we can move on to the top layer of this afternoon tea, which is the patisseries that look incredible. Oh my gosh, while I finish this scone, I completely forgot. I promised you guys I would tell you how Cowboy Carter was. I went a few nights ago. It was incredible. I was in Club Hoedown West, so on the left-hand side of the stage, and it was the most incredible experience. It was such an immersive experience. We were like just right in there with the dancers and everything, and we had the best night. I was dancing all night. I'm a massive Beyonce fan, so I literally know the lyrics to all of her songs. And I just had the best time. If you get the chance to watch one of her shows, I highly, highly recommend going. It is just so awe-inspiring, so talented. So I had a brilliant time, so much so that late last night, while I was having a bath, I might have bought myself another ticket to go tomorrow, which will be the Saturday show. I got a ticket for £100 in South Standing, which is half of its face value. It was just too good a deal to let pass me by. So I'm going to be there again tomorrow and I'm very excited. I'm not planning to get too close to the front. I'm just going to go enjoy the vibes, enjoy seeing it kind of from a distance and straight on looking at the stage. But yeah, I had the best time. Let me know if you went to her shows as well and what you thought of them. Okay, I finished the scones. They were absolutely delicious. And I was just going to show you how much cream and jam I've got left. So for the cream, this is what we've got left. There's actually quite a bit left. So I will say they're very generous with their portion sizes of what they offer you. And then for the jam, that's what I've got left. There's plenty of jam left because they do give you 2 to choose from, so you're never really going to run out of that. I actually also ordered the green red berry tea to try, which I've got here. It smells really, really good, so I'm excited to try this. That's really tasty as well. I really like it. They do some really good fruity teas here, so if that is your thing, this is definitely the place to come. So now that we've finished with the scones, it is time to move on to the patisseries, which are definitely the most exciting looking items in this afternoon tea. I'm really excited to see if their taste lives up to their appearance. Okay, it is time to get into these incredible patisseries. I'm just going to hold them up on the plate here to show you. I'm not going to hold them individually up to show you because some of them don't have bases that I can hold, and I'm just worried that if I try to do that, they're going to fall on the table and create a massive mess. So I don't want to do that. So I've got little clips of each of them up close that I'll insert so you can have a better look at them when I review each one. But let's get stuck into this. I'm excited to try each of them. I don't even really know where to begin. I'm just going to have a little look at the menu here while we decide what to start with. So I think we should start with A Stage Awaits, which is the layered chocolate and almond opera cake. It is beautiful on the plate. I almost don't want to cut into this because I feel like it's going to ruin it. I'm going to remove the frame on the outside first and then cut into this a little bit and try some. Okay, I've got some on my fork, so let's try it and see what we think. That is a decadent chocolate ganache flavour. It is so nice. I think once you were done with it, it could be a bit sickly. It's a lot of chocolate, but it is a beautiful flavour. That's definitely one I would have to share with someone just because I'm not the hugest fan of chocolate on chocolate. But I do think the flavour is really nice. And if you are a chocolate lover, you will absolutely love that. Okay, next let's try this ballet choux, which is a choux bun. I can't remember what this is filled with, but it looks really, really pretty. Okay, I just checked and it's got a salted caramel and hazelnut filling. I'm gonna cut into this and get some on my fork to try. Okay, I've got a bit on my fork, so let's try this and see what we think. Okay, that flavor was actually lighter than I was expecting, and it's really, really nice. I really like that. Next, let's try the On Point sponge. This is one I'm not gonna lift up because if I do, it will literally like fall apart in my hand. But I will cut into it now and try it a little bit and let you guys know what I think. So I've got some on my fork here. Let's try it and see what we think. That is amazing. That's definitely my favorite. It's a really light moussey texture with a strawberry compote in there as well that is delicious and perfect for summer. Next, let's try the crowning moment. Again, I'm not going to lift this one up because it looks very delicate and I don't want it to fall apart in my hands. But this is a coconut cremeux. I'm definitely not saying that right. With a white peach and cherry compote. So I feel like I'll really like this one as well. I'm just going to get some on my fork and I'll let you guys know what I think. I'm not normally the biggest fan of coconut, but that is delicious. I really, really like that. So far, I'm really loving this. I'm really impressed. Finally, we have the prima ballerina of the park room. I feel so nervous holding this up to the camera for you guys. I feel like it's going to fall apart at any minute, but let's cut into it and see what we think. It's a lemon and Earl Grey cake, which I feel like is gonna be delicious. Okay, I've got some on my fork, so let's try it and see what we think. That is a really nice, delicate flavour. I really, really like it. Overall, I'm really impressed with the sweet treats slash patisseries that you get with this afternoon tea. So now that I've finished everything, let me give you guys my final review. Overall, I think this afternoon tea is outstanding. I actually think this might be one of the best ones, if not the best one that I've tried in London so far. So I highly, highly recommend that you check it out. If you're happy to pay around the £70 price point per person, and you want a really nice, elegant setting and really well thought out flavor profiles, you will really love this. I will also say the service has been amazing. They've been so lovely, so helpful, and that has definitely added to my experience. It's all the little details that just make it feel more special than other afternoon teas that I've done. I love that they have a pianist playing. I always find that that makes something feel a lot more sophisticated than if the room was just quiet or just had music playing on like a speaker system in the background. I will say though, it is getting a little bit noisy in here. Nothing too outrageous or crazy, but just something to bear in mind if you prefer a completely quiet or calm setting. This might be a little bit too much for you during peak times of dining, but for me it's been fine. I mentioned there was a child crying earlier. It lasted for maybe 20 seconds, if that, and then it stopped. So really, I don't want to bring that into it and say that that's made the experience a more negative one, because I really don't think it has. And I also think it's one of those things that's kind of inevitable and it's hard for people to avoid happening. So yeah, overall, I would definitely recommend that you check this afternoon tea out and book it if you want something special to do in London. So looking at where this has put Grosvenor House in my top 5 afternoon teas, it is no surprise that it is right at the top there. It was an incredible experience and I highly recommend booking this one for a special occasion. You will not be disappointed. I hope you guys have enjoyed this review. Let me know if there's any other afternoon teas you want me to review. This was actually one of the suggestions from my comments, so thank you so much for all of the recommendations you've given me so far. I am taking them into consideration and I will get round to doing them all, but I will see you guys in my next video.